Nigerians, good morning everybody watching BGI TV Current. It's another brilliant day in the city of Abeokuta as we usually come before you with newspaper headlines. And today is the third day in the month of August 2023. A lot of things happened yesterday. The protests in Lagos, in Abuja, to the extent the unions and the people on protest eventually broke down and dropped down the gates to the National Assembly after stiff resistance by the security personnel. But all the same, another one happened again at Niger State, where the deputy governor, who happens to be a unionist before becoming a deputy governor, joined the protest in Niger, telling the government, the federal government and the state government, that all of these yearnings, all of these needs that led to the protest from NLC and TUC is an emergency which we all need to adhere to. That workers truly needs all of these claims that they are wanting from the federal government. My name is Morire Rebila Lawal. As usually, I'm always here with my colleague.
I say good morning to all our viewers, and just like you said, Morira Rabila, I also got a report that in Lagos State yesterday, the deputy governor also joined the protest, clamoring for government to make sure that they make a proactive step in order to tackle the situation in the country. My name is Ige or Lalekon, and I'm wishing you the best of the day today, the 3rd day of August 2023. As you sit tight and let's take you through the dailies as it unfolds in our daily newspaper for the morning.
And today, the Punch newspaper is having Gadagba dear, that's Oyetola Lalong Bagudu. 16 others make second ministerial list. Shawoni Koni. Niger. And also the biggest one again at the center point of the Punch newspaper, on the front newspaper, banks' offices shots amid rallies. Labour demands 200,000 naira wage. Even from here, we are supporting 200,000 naira wage. If ordinarily lawmakers, senators, ministers, commissioners, SSAs can be having a huge sum of money for just maybe wardrobe allowance, traveling allowance, and these people who are teachers, lecturers, doctors, to mention a few, are not being paid well. Nigeria, wake up from slumber. Now, the next one from politics, PDP inaugurates campaign councils for Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi Post as regards the election coming up in some months' time in Nigeria, as their own timetable is not as the same with the one that we got during the February general governorship election. And also coming from Lagos State concerning the death of a doctor from the elevator. Lagos probes doctor's death in hospital elevator. Colleagues shun work. It was a very sad one, Ige, that she was in front of a food vendor wanting to buy food, and surprisingly, the elevator, maybe there was something that happened concerning the elevator, and it came to landed on her, and before she could get treatment or taken to emergency ward, she eventually gave up the ghost. And the last rider from here, before the last rider, community protest demolition, 6 some will lose intervention. And also from Nigerian Republic, this is the laughing stock I want us to laugh about. Nigeria cuts power supply. ECOWAS vows to confront junta. Now, this is the discussion. This is the rider that is bringing me smiles like, yes, meanwhile, at the salary and then she was the first week of August. It is a shame that Nigeria is supplying Nigerian Republic with 100% power supply, when I and you are not even enjoying it. Common sense, Nigeria. Ige, have you won only?
Oh,
Ṣé go enough in Lusho? You should know what Nigeria. Okay, somebody was now saying it is it is an adult movie that Nigeria is acting that we know as a blue film. Adult movie in the sense that how can you have something and you are supplying it out to another nation when your own residents, netizens are not even enjoying 1%? The only time you see NEPA around with ladder is towards the end of the month when they will bring an exorbitant bill onto the lights that they never rendered. FG details 18 illegal loan apps. And lastly, Ondo oil producing area indigents protest unpaid bursary. I rest my case. Let's hear from Oladlekan Ige.
Okay, Mori Rabila, before I take it from my end here, I want you to understand two things and to note those two things. You know, Sonny Okosu sang a song. He said, which way Nigeria? Which way to go? For us to love our fatherland must put things in place and everything must be in the proper way. So if you look at the circumstances of Nigeria, it says that, O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right. We've been praying for them and we hope that now that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in power, I hope Nigerians are expectant. We are hoping that he does the things in the right way and I hope God will help him.
Amen. No.
Now, from my own hand here, I have the Nigerian Tribune and at the same time I have the Vanguard. Now, from the sad note, just like you said, medical doctors protest as colleague dies in Lagos hospital elevator accident. Nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize. And the bold headline I have here is, after labor protest, Tinubu says Port-Harcourt refineries to work by December. And I think that should bring a joy. Then going through the Vanguard newspaper, from the masthead I have this. Just like you also said, it's you know, like I used to say that Nigeria is an arena of gallery, an arena of drama. Cool. Nigerian cuts power supply to Nigerian Republic. UK's 38 million pounds. AIDS making difference in northeastern Nigeria. From the ministerial list, I have this: 5 ex-governor, 14 others make Tinubu second list. While from the bold headline, I have labor protest archie as Tinubu waits in. Now let's take the news in full and let's just look at what we have. The first one I want to pick this morning is from the Nigerian Tribune, where we have the headline that says that 5 ex-governors, 14 others makes Tinubu's second badge ministerial list. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday forwarded additional 19 ministerial nominee lists to Senate for screening and confirmation. The Chief of Staff and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, presented the new batch of ministerial list to the Senate President, which was later read by Senator Akpabio. The rules of the Senate were suspended at 3:15 p.m. when the screening of Kwara's nominee, Lateef Fagbemi, sang to allow for Chief of Staff to enter the Alo chamber. Morire, just as the Constitution stated it, that there is a limited time for the President to submit the list of those that will work for him within his cabinet. Now, I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has complied with what the Constitution stated. But the other way around, I believe Nigeria has been having a lot of divergent views based on the names of the people that we have in this list. And one of the things I appreciate most is for the fact that in the list, we have, let's say we have like 25% of women, which means that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has included women a lot in his mission to reshape and resuscitate Nigerian economy. And at the same time, one of the things that even triggered me was that just like people used to talk about, make reference to the NSAS issue and things like that, you give the youth chance, give them an opportunity, let's see what the youth can do. One of the ministers that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to use in this new administration, a lady from Akwa Ibom State. She's just 37 years old. And I think those people will make a positive impact. What is your take on it?
It's definitely going to have selections concerning whoever they want to choose and select. And basically, how it goes is that no matter the selection, they will surely pass through the Senate for scrutiny, for interviews and checking their papers correctly. And if they scale through, the next thing is to make them join the list of qualified ministers to work in the cabinet of President Bola Tinubu.
Okay. Then there is one other drama that happened in the House of Senate when they were, conducting assessment for those nominees before they kickstart their duties as a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One of the things that caught my attention was that one of the representatives, a senator from Kogi State, was clamoring, and the guy was strongly against the former FCT minister in person of El-Rufai. But, and most of the time, what we see is that for the fact that some of them had one time in the other been as a minister or things like that in the Federal Republic, does it mean that the senator should give them a bow to go without answering some of the questions? And at the same time, like one of the senators from Kwara State also challenged Dele Alake. He said Dele Alake should recite the second stanza of the national anthem. Can you imagine such question asking a minister to be? What is your take on that?
It is a relevant question, and I see no fault about him asking Dele Alake to recite the national anthem, either the first stanza or the second stanza. It happened during Jonathan, when a man who eventually became a minister was asked to recite the national pledge or national anthem. I can't really remember. And after the whole process, he eventually got the job, and he confessed at a press conference that it was his nephew or his grandchild that taught him the second stanza or the national anthem or the national pledge. I can't really remember the picture. So any question can be asked, and if such question is asked, Nigerians should stop the mind of undermining how some processes have been done. If I'm in position of those people to ask a question, any question of thoughts on my mind can be the only question I'll need to ask whoever is in front of the chamber for scrutiny and investigation. So basically, it is a goal for me. And whoever is asked such question, not all of them, most times, can answer such question. So that's my take.
Okay, let me just quickly take you through this one. From the Vanguard newspaper, cool. Nigerian court power supply to Nigerian Republic. Let's quickly look at what the news have for us. Now, we have this. Nigerian has disconnected the supply of 150 megawatts of electricity daily to Niger as part of efforts by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to restore democracy in that nation. The disconnection was affected by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, directly involved in the transmission of power on Tuesday night. The managing director, CEO of TCN, Engineer Sule Abdulaziz, did not respond when Vanguard called. Moriri.
Yes.
Your take on that?
I've read it. It is a shame that àwọn ọmọ ìlú ò rí àǹfààní iná ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń kó iná lọ sí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tí ò wúlò sí ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè Nigeria. And basically, I see no reason why such is happening, and they aren't giving them for free. I want to be convinced on this point. Nigeria must be earning something from this electricity, and why they are cutting it off is because of the coup, the successful coup that rocked Niger as a whole, where they removed the president of the country, Mohamed Bazoum. So that's my take.
Okay. Now, before we go to look at the issue of the protest that happened yesterday, I think I have a good news there, but I just want us to discuss on it, to see your own view in terms of what you think about this. They said after Labour protest, Tinubu says Port-Harcourt refineries to work by December.
Yes, he has said it, and I see no objection about it. Definitely, he knows what he's saying, and he knows why he has said so. If it hasn't been working, while the 8 years lasted during former President Muhammadu Buhari. Definitely, he has his point, so we should expect what he has said to Nigerians.
Okay, let's quickly take a look at this. Labour protest hardship as Tinubu waits in. Now, let's look at what we have in the news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday met with the leadership of the two labour centres, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) at the Presidential Villa Abuja, with a firm commitment to accede to some of their demands. He immediately promised to constitute a new presidential committee on palliative, as the Labour leaders complained about the existing committee led by the Chief of Staff of the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, which they described as an aberration. He also acceded to Labour's demand for wage award, since negotiation of a new minimum wage would not come until next year in accordance with constitutional provision. Do you think this protest in the first place is needful?
Even the blind knows it's needful, from all of the requirements that they are wanting from the government. Even the blind, the deaf knows it's needful. So to say, from what they all want from the government, the payments, the increments, the minimum wage, there's some on-the-job training, which the government ought to be doing. Employment of enough staff at some hospitals, health facilities. So it's just a wake-up call for Nigerian government to reason. And I wish they will surely have a resolution and a fulfilling outcome of the protest. Though there's an information that says Labour suspends strike, and maybe another story again I ran into is that the president had a meeting with NLC, TUC late nights yesterday. So maybe the outcome, definitely, there was going to be something like a week of check and balance, sitting, deliberations. They will check everything the Labour wants and reason to some extent, the ones they can offer and the ones they can give. So I go straight to my next rider on the Punch newspaper from the business angle. Local refining will reduce petrol price by 70 naira per litre. Marketers. And also, how Obi found missing phones at tribunal, a laughing stock. You claim you were cheated at the presidential election. Now, someone has cheated you by picking your phones again at the tribunal. Nigerians, smart guys. They picked the phone of Peter Obi in the courts at the tribunal. This person just wants to sentence himself straight to prison. What if the very, very person who picked Peter Obi's phone gets caught inside a court? Again, funny.
It's a laughing stock.
But now they are saying it is a no. How Obi found missing phones at tribunal. Is it possible? A phone that camera shows that yes, he was saying my phones are not with me again, and he never handed over those phones to any aides around him. And an aide is saying how Obi found missing phones at tribunal, just as what former Minister for Works and Housing Fashola did at Lekki. The cameras that everyone searched and looked for, they could not get it, and you got there by saying camera lady on the floor there. It is a mockery. That is not why we are here. But all they say, we need to put smiles on our face. Passenger who allegedly stole 1 million naira on board Air Peace Nat. This is another interesting one. Why this person failed to exhibit the act of being a patriot? Because there was a lady, information carried I think 2 weeks back, that she found 70,000 US dollars belonging to Davido, if I'm right with the figure. And she eventually returned the money to Davido. Davido compensated her with 10,000 US dollar. That alone attracted the lady again to another 30,000 US dollar by another woman. See, fine, we have hunger, we have pains, we have pressure go Nigeria, but all the same, we should endeavor to making sure we are all good ambassadors everywhere we go. West Africa petrol import dipped 30% in Q2, says report. There's another one. I wonder what demon is attached to the president. Tinubu finds his own demons. All of these riders are on the Punch newspaper. And an interesting one again. Nigeria Customs Service intercepts vehicle with smuggled bulletproof jackets orders. I was listening to the news this morning from home, and it was confirmed in the news that a lot of guns and ammunitions were found inside the Sienna that was intercepted by the Nigeria Customs Service. Also, air passenger arrested for stealing 1 million naira on board. Also, we have a shocking one. Government storm ex-lawmakers Kwara farm, kill manager. Now, wow, Allah Mashawa. Let's hear another rider you have there.
Okay, from my own hand here, I have this. Guba poll from the Vanguard newspaper. We will win Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa, PDP boost. APC crisis, anxiety over possible dissolution of National Working Committee. Now, the issue of this APC appointing a new national chairman has been lingering for a long time. While the president is insisting that Ganduje should come up, a lot of other people are saying no. But I want to see how they will work out things amicably to bring out the best candidate, because when you look at the internal crisis happening in APC, you come to think of it that if it can be happening and they can't handle it, then what will happen at the federal level, which is the national? Muriri, your take on that?
To me, fervently, when we speculate things, it doesn't go that way. And it is only, or it was the president that said his choice remains Ganduje. And I see no magic happening that the PDP will sweep Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi. Do not forget, and in case our viewers have forgotten, let me remind you, Imo is having an APC governor. Kogi is having an APC governor. Bayelsa, I think it used to be a PDP governor, if I'm right. But I'm very, very convinced about Imo and Kogi State. And the likes of Kogi State Governor and Imo State Governor, definitely, they will not open their eyes down for an opposition to come and win the governorship election coming. That's number one. Then number two, I want to say, I do not have the info if the crisis rocking APC as regards the national chairman can affect the result of these elections coming. But let us wait and see. Naija Lawa. So whatever is coming up, everyone will sit tight to making sure they win. And it is only the INEC that can pronounce a winner.
Okay, only the INEC that can pronounce a winner. And from the Nigerian Tribune, I also have this headline. Senate receives 19 additional ministerial nominees, 47 ministers in all, highest since 1999. 2 from Kano, 2 from Lagos, 1 FCT indigene, 5 former governors make the list. Let's see how it goes. Another one, Abdul Salam to lead ECOWAS mission to Niger as 10 defense chiefs meet in Abuja, Morire, we have 47 ministers in all. Presently now, based on the list that the president had just submitted, we have 2 from Kano, 2 from Lagos, and 1 FCT indigene. In the first in the history of Nigeria, they are picking somebody from the FCT who is an indigene.
Truth about the matter is we do not have the ministers yet. They are only on the ministerial list. So it is when they pass through the Senate and they scale through convincingly. Because similarly, the Ogun State governor, Prince Dapabiodun, had sent to the House of Assembly 8 names of likely to be commissioners in the state. And I think few names I heard is coming from past commissioners. The one I'm familiar with is Kemi Koka, the former commissioner of health, and she's having her name on the list, and they've been asked to submit their credentials and curriculum vitae to the House for screening, checking, screening. So until when they pass through this process and they eventually convince whoever is in charge of the panel, then we can now pronounce them as ministers. Fine, if we have former governors in the list of the ministerial nominees, definitely it means it is a payback time for a job well done.
A payback time for a job well done. In case you are just joining us, this is BGI TV Current. My name is Ige Olalekun, and I want to enjoin you to always subscribe, to like, and to click on the buttons for you to enjoy more of the edition of our program. Morire, do you have any other headline from your end?
Yes, we appreciate everyone who have taken their time to making sure this thing is an interesting one. This newspaper headlines for today is an interesting one, and the channel, we want you to keep subscribing and tell some other people to join us on BGI TV Current on YouTube. Please subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all for you to have updates of our regular programs. I tell you, a trial will surely convince you. And as regards the suspension of the protest which happened nationwide, some states joined, some didn't. I am convinced that if we could have records of 2 deputy governors joining, and even the one in Lagos, I learned that Babafemi Falana's son joined the protest. These are encouraging things. It shows that yes, Nigerians are worthy to be celebrated. They are worthy to be paid judiciously. If only our governments from local, states, and federal level can think inwardly, the best workers to be paid is or are the teachers, the lecturers, and the doctors. These are the people on the front line. These are the people who are necessary, that's necessarily concerned to have a 5-star treatment concerning salary package, concerning incentives, concerning promotion and technical support from the federal, states, and local government. I want to say a big thank you to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, if possibly, or probably next week, we come again on set to bring to you many riders, interesting one from the dailies. My name remains Morire Rabila Lawal. Have a wonderful time.